Kotaro's fingers worked the tattered laces. The sneakers were falling apart, and so was his daughter's confidence. The soles were worn thin, held together by a father's stubborn care.
What trash shoes? Did you fish those out of a dumpster? This is going straight to the school chat group. Everyone needs to see this.
My heart stopped. The whole school would see.
Kotaro finished the knot, his jaw tight. He wouldn't let them break her.
Just run for you, Hana. Not for them. Not for me. For you.
His words were a small flame in the wind. I held on to it.
But Mrs. Tanaka's laughter still echoed across the asphalt, sharp as a camera flash. The starter raised his pistol. For Hana, the hardest race wasn't on the track. It was against the shame.
Look at these. Her father must have picked them out of the trash. Pathetic.
Caption: Trash shoes at the big marathon. Number 214 is a joke. Pass it on.
That's my shoe. They're all going to see it. I can't breathe.
Kotaro saw Hana freeze, her eyes locked on the phone. He knew the bullet had already left the chamber. He moved to block her view, but the whispers were already multiplying around them.
Make sure to share it. The group will get a kick out of this.
Other parents squinted at their screens, smirking as the photo traveled from hand to hand.
They're all seeing me fall apart before the race even starts.
I can't fight a school chat group with my fists. I can only show her what I always have, quiet steel.
The starting pistol would fire in minutes, but for Hana, the race had already been stolen by a single cruel snapshot. The announcer's voice faded as Kotaro's mind wandered to the nights he'd worked extra shifts just to afford the entry fee. He'd ridden through rain and cold, delivering packages until his back ached. Then, at the kitchen table, under a bare bulb, counting every coin, he'd clicked submit on the race registration with trembling hands, not from doubt, but from hope.
But he also remembered her smile when he told her, how she jumped up, eyes shining.
Now that same girl stood with shoulders hunched, her spirit crushed by a single photo.
The shoes that carried me through training are now a joke for strangers.
Was all that sacrifice meaningless if this moment destroyed her?
He wanted to scream at the laughing parents, but his strength was in his stillness. The pistol was moments away. Kotaro placed his hand on Hana's shoulder, hoping his touch could say what words couldn't. A sudden hush fell over the starting line as a man in a red and white jacket strode through the crowd.
Hana, wait, please. I need to speak with you.
That jacket. It's the national team logo. Why is he calling my name?
Mrs. Tanaka's jaw dropped. The phone in her hand went limp, its screen still glowing with mockery.
You are Hana, right? I've been looking for you. I have something for you, something you've earned.
Earned? What does he mean? Hana hasn't run anything big.
This must be a mistake. People like me don't get noticed by national scouts.
From his bag, he drew a red box, its edges gleaming with a gold insignia. The air grew still. The starter's voice called out a final warning, but for one frozen moment, all eyes were on that red box. Coach Sakamoto lifted the lid. Inside, on red tissue, lay a pair of silver running shoes, custom-made with a name stitched in gold. The embroidery read, Hana. Her name on a national-level shoe.
My name on real shoes. This isn't a joke.
Wait, a national team gift? For the girl with trash shoes? This has to be a mistake.
It's no mistake. I've been watching Hana's progress for a long time. She has a rare gift. These shoes are a small token of the junior team's interest. You've earned them, Hana.
Hana's hands trembled as she reached for the box. The worn sneakers on her feet felt heavier than ever.
This is real. She's been seen. After everything, she's really been seen.
Junior team's interest? That's not an official spot. Probably just a pity gift after seeing my post.
The pistol cracked. Runners surged forward, but Hana stood frozen, clutching the box, caught between humiliation and a fragile, unfolding hope. Without a word, Hana knelt and pulled off the frayed sneakers. The new silver laces dangled, waiting.
They fit like I've worn them for years, like they were always meant for me.
Show them what those shoes can do, Hana. The track will tell them the truth.
Thank you, sir. You don't know what this means to her, to us.
I'll just update the chat group. Let them see the national team handout.
The announcer's voice crackled. All remaining runners, to the line immediately. Hana sprinted from the line, several seconds behind the pack. Her silver shoes flashed like blades.
I won't let them write my story. These shoes are my answer.
She's running like I've never seen. Like the shame never happened.
And with every stride, the gossip faded behind her, irrelevant against the rhythm of her feet. She was already passing runners who'd started ahead, surging through gaps like she'd run this race 100 times. In contrast, Mrs. Tanaka's son lumbered near the back, his designer kit no match for his burning lungs.
What are you doing, Takuya? She's nobody. Push harder.
Brand new shoes can't carry someone who runs to please their mother. I run for me.
Perfect stride, natural drive. She's been running on guts and grit for years.
His stopwatch clicked. The split time was remarkable for a late start. Hana overtook a cluster of runners in the turn, her silver shoes a streak of light.
This can't be happening. The chat group will see my own son get humiliated.
The gap between her son and Hana yawned wider with every stride, a cruel mirror of the social distance she'd tried to create. For the first time that morning, the loudest sound on the course wasn't mockery. It was Hana's steady, relentless breath. As Kotaro watched her pull away, a memory surfaced, a phone call that had redefined the word maybe. A week ago, his phone had buzzed with a call that made his hands tremble.
National Junior Team Scout? I almost dropped the phone.
Your daughter Hana has been quietly winning local 5Ks for 2 years. Did you know?
Local 5Ks. She never told me she was winning. All this time.
Her times are extraordinary for her age. She has national potential if she gets the right support.
Images surfaced of small-town races he'd never seen. Podiums she'd stood on alone. She'd hidden her medals, too shy to boast or too afraid to hope for more.
He'd only asked to surprise her today. No promises, just a chance. And now that chance was tearing up the track.
Now, watching her fly, the coach's words echoed louder than any jeer from the sideline. Hana surged past another runner, her silver shoes glinting as she claimed third place with deceptive ease. The gap between her and the top two was shrinking, a steady, relentless reeling in. Mrs. Tanaka's son was walking now, his mother's shouts no longer angry, but shrill with panic.
Mental toughness like this can't be bought. She's running on pure will.
He scribbled a single word in his notebook. Exceptional. Whispers replaced laughter. Parents tapped each other, pointing at the girl they had dismissed just minutes ago.
I am not just keeping up. I am passing them. This is my race.
Mrs. Tanaka watched the track, her face draining of color. The chat group would soon have a very different photo to share. Coach Sakamoto lowered his stopwatch. The expression on his face wasn't just approval, it was certainty. As Hana rounded the final bend, even the skeptics held their breath, watching something undeniable unfold. Hana entered the final 400 meters, matching strides with the runner. Just ahead, a girl in blue tape.
Come on, Hana. You are right there. Don't let up now.
I can feel him falling back. Just a little more.
She surged past the second-place runner on the final straight, the silver shoes a blur of gold stitching. At the back, Mrs. Tanaka's son had stopped entirely, his mother's frantic gestures reduced to silence. Hana broke the tape with her chest, arms flung wide, second place, and a flood of emotion. The scoreboard confirmed it. Number 214, second overall. The underdog had just rewritten the morning.
That's my girl. After all this, she did it.
She's ready. Everything I saw in those small races was real.
Coach Sakamoto set down his stopwatch. He didn't need to see anything else. Coach Sakamoto met her at the finish line, placing a warm hand on her shoulder.
You ran beautifully, Hana. Exactly like the scout report said you would.
Thank you, Coach. We can't repay this.
No repayment needed. We'll talk more later. For now, just enjoy this moment.
He pressed a business card into Kotaro's palm, then turned to leave before more could be asked.
Later. We'll talk later? Ha! That's what they say when they want to disappear without making promises. A national team scout doesn't give spots to girls with trash shoes. That card's probably fake.
A few parents around her laughed, but it was hollow. Others shifted uncomfortably, refusing to meet her eyes.
Later talk? What if he really does just disappear? What if this was all for nothing?
For the first time that morning, the silver shoes felt heavy on her feet, a question mark instead of an answer. On the bus home, Hana sat rigid by the window. The metal pinched her palm. The shoebox lay sealed in her lap. A phone screen glowed a few rows ahead. New message. So-called scout probably a fake. Number. Trash shoes girls still a joke.
That's it. They've turned the only good thing today into another weapon.
Kotaro watched the back of her head, his own throat tight. She hadn't spoken a single word since the finish.
Maybe Mrs. Tanaka was right. Maybe the coach just felt sorry for me after the post.
At home, she carried the shoes to her room and stood before the closet.
I'll put them away. If no one sees them, maybe the questions will stop.
The silver shoes, still gleaming, were buried under an old jacket, proof of talent hidden as if it were a shameful secret.
Second place means nothing if they think it was pity.
The medal joined the others on the shelf, but tonight it felt no heavier than the silence in the room. Days passed, but the silence from the coach stretched like a wound that wouldn't close.
In the hallway, Takuya's voice rang out. My mom says the scout was a fake. She Googled him. I walked past, pretending not to hear. Their laughter clung to my back.
Before school, she ran alone in the park, but the silver shoes stayed buried in the closet.
I run, but the fire is gone. Every step reminds me I am not enough.
Kotaro, on his delivery route, checked his phone at every stop. Still nothing.
I have the coach's card. I could just call. But what if he's changed his mind? If he wanted to reach us, he would have. Maybe the scout was just a gesture.
That night, he sat at the kitchen table, the card lit by the screen's glow, thumb hovering over the call button. Upstairs, Hana lay awake, tracing the ceiling where the light used to catch her dreams. The next evening, Kotaro reached into the mailbox and pulled out a thick envelope. The return address froze his breath.
National Youth Training Camp. This is it. This is real.
He tore it open with shaking fingers, afraid the paper itself might vanish. Dear Hana, I am sorry for the delay. The board had to approve the budget. Your marathon performance was the final piece. Welcome to the junior national team. Below the typed script, a handwritten line. She earned this, Kotaro. We've been watching her for 2 years.
2 years. All those early morning runs, hidden medals. She never stopped.
He wept without sound, shoulders shaking. Years of sacrifice, mocking, doubt, all released in a single moment. The shoes in the closet, still gathering dust, were about to be unearthed.
I have to tell her. Tonight.
He climbed the stairs, each step heavier than the last, carrying the news that would change everything. Kotaro pushed open Hana's door. She sat up in bed, her eyes raw from hours of staring at the ceiling.
Hana, it came. The official letter. You are in.
Letter? From the camp? It's here?
She took the paper with trembling hands. The seal of the National Youth Training Camp gleamed in the lamplight.
Junior national team. I'm invited. I really am. I thought they forgot about me. I thought I was nothing.
You were never nothing. They've been watching your every race for 2 years.
They held each other, the weight of weeks finally crumbling into sobs and half-laughs.
Should we call the school? Have the principal make an official announcement?
They might still laugh, but if they don't believe it, That's their problem. I'm going to the camp. Make the call, Dad.
The next morning, the principal's voice crackled over the PA. Every student in the school went still. Congratulations to Hana, who has been officially invited to the National Junior Training Camp. Gasps filled the classrooms. In her homeroom, students whipped around to stare at Hana. Whispers spread like wildfire.
They're all staring. But this time, it's not pity. It's something new.
Takuya's face drained of color. His mother's lies had just been publicly shattered.
It's a mistake. The national team doesn't take kids from poor families. I am calling the office.
But the parent network was already buzzing with the news. The chat group was shifting.
I can feel the air changing. For the first time, I am not the joke.
Mrs. Tanaka dialed furiously, her voice shrill. But no one was listening. The school had spoken. The invitation was real, and nothing she said could undo it. The principal summoned Hana to his office after the morning bell. "We'd like to present the official documentation in a brief assembly," he said warmly. By midday, Coach Sakamoto stepped out of a taxi in front of the school. Staff greeted him with cheerful bows. The assembly hall rustled with curiosity. Mrs. Tanaka slipped in last, standing rigid against the back wall, arms crossed.
Hana, it's my honor to present you with this certificate of invitation to the junior national team. You earned this through years of quiet dedication.
The coach pressed the framed certificate into Hana's hands. For a beat, the room was silent, then applause erupted.
That's my girl. All those early mornings. They finally saw it.
Mrs. Tanaka's arms remained crossed, her jaw tight. No one looked her way.
The camp starts next month. I'll be there to help you settle in.
Next month, this is really happening. I am going to train with the best.
As the applause faded, Hana glanced at the front row where Kotaro sat, tears tracing down his smile. The principal raised a hand for silence. "I am also pleased to announce that Hana will be featured as runner of the month." A murmur rippled through the room. The girl once mocked was now the school's pride. Near the exit, Mrs. Tanaka heard the whispers about Takuya's humiliating result. Her face tightened. Parents who had once whispered now converged on Kotaro, shaking his hand, clapping his back.
They're thanking me. I never thought this day would come.
Beside the coach, Hana smiled without restraint. The girl with trash shoes was the star of the school. The school chat group, once a weapon, now flooded with congratulations. "Number 214 is a legend," someone wrote.
All those early morning runs, they weren't for them. But it's nice to finally be seen.
Mrs. Tanaka slipped out the side door, her complaints swallowed by the applause. The assembly ended, but Hana's moment was just beginning. The principal beckoned Hana to the stage. Her silver shoes clicked softly on the wooden floor.
These shoes were hidden in my closet. Now they're carrying me to the podium.
For a fleeting second, she remembered the frayed laces and Mrs. Tanaka's cruel laugh.
But that laugh belongs to the past. I belong on this stage.
She raised her head and smiled, a smile no one could mistake for pity or charity. Kotaro lifted a hand to his eyes, wiping away tears that wouldn't stop. Coach Sakamoto, standing to the side, gave a proud thumbs up. The crowd, once filled with whispers of doubt, now roared with genuine applause.
This sound isn't about the shoes anymore. It's about what I ran for.
The silver shoes gleamed under the lights, not as a question, but as an answer. The afternoon sun greeted Hana as she walked out of the school, her silver shoes gleaming under the golden light. A group of younger students rushed up to her, eyes wide, holding out notebooks and scraps of paper. Hana smiled and took a marker. Her autograph was now a treasure for kids who once might have whispered behind her back. Near the gate, Mrs. Tanaka stood motionless, her son tugging at her sleeve, but she didn't move.
She's still standing there, but she doesn't matter anymore.
Kotaro put his arm around Hana's shoulders, and together they walked away without a backward glance. They passed the park where Hana had run countless pre-dawn miles alone in worn-out shoes.
This is where it all started. Every painful step was worth it to reach this laughter.
And for the first time since the start line, Hana laughed out loud, light, free, and unburdened. The silver shoes caught the sun as she walked forward, no longer a question, but a statement of everything she had become. That evening, Hana sat on her bed, the silver shoes placed carefully beside her.
I ran my fingers over the name embroidered in gold. My name. It still feels unreal.
The room was quiet, but her mind replayed 1,000 sounds. The starter's pistol, the laughter, the applause.
And under all of it, Dad's whisper, "Just run for you."
Coach Sakamoto's words had been a vote of confidence, but her father's had been the foundation.
These shoes carried me across the finish line, but they didn't run the race. I did.
She held the shoe up, the embroidery catching the lamplight, proof of every hidden morning in the park. The shoes had carried her from shame to a podium, but what quieted her heart was that they were proof of something no one could take away, her own hard work.
Tomorrow, I'll lace them up again, and I'll run for the girl who never stopped believing, even when she was alone.
She placed the shoe back on the shelf, not to hide it, but to rest. The journey had only begun. The next morning, Hana laced her silver shoes at the edge of the park. The sun was just beginning to rise.
Every morning used to be a secret. Now it's a promise.
She took a deep breath, and then she was off, light on her feet, the silver shoes flashing through the dappled light. The shoes were not just for races anymore. They were for every step forward.
The next race, the training camp, whatever comes, I'll be ready.
The park was empty, but she wasn't alone. Every stride carried the memory of those who believed in her. The camera lingered on the shoes, silver and gold, a statement of resilience. And then the frame rose, catching the morning light spilling over the trees, the sky wide and open. A new journey had begun, not just to a training camp, but toward a future she had built with every step. The screen faded on a single image, the shoes gleaming, the name Hana catching the light, a signature of triumph.